I groaned as I stood in front of my mom holding a plate of freshly baked brownies. Why do I have to do this? I complained. She just gave me one of those looks. You know, the because I said so kind. Because it's cool being a good neighbor. They just moved in, and it's nice to welcome them, she replied, pushing me toward the door. With a sigh, I walked across the hall, knocking on the door of apartment 3B. The door opened to reveal a woman, smiling warmly. Hi, my name is Maya, I said, trying to sound confident. I held out the brownies. My mum asked me to bring these over to welcome you to the neighborhood. She couldn't make it, but she wanted me to say hello on her behalf. Oh, how sweet. Thank you so much. Come on in. Let me offer you some tea or something, she said, looking at me with a grin. Sure, I said, a little surprised. Make yourself at home, she said, setting the brownies down on the counter.
I'm Mrs. Rivers, by the way. We just moved in yesterday, so everything's still a bit of a mess. It's really nice to meet you, Maya. Hold on. Let me call my son so you can meet him.
She tilted her head back toward the hallway and called out the name Jordan, telling him to come say hi to the new neighbor. For a moment, there was only silence. Then I heard slow, heavy footsteps. A boy, probably around my age, stepped into view. He was tall, wearing a hoodie, headphones draped around his neck. His eyes shifted toward me for a second, before darting away like he was too cool to care. This is my son, Jordan, Mrs. Rivers said. Hey, he muttered, lifting a hand in a quick, lazy wave. Hey, I replied, giving a small wave back. For a moment, there was an awkward silence. Then Jordan cleared his throat. Well, I have to go, finish unpacking, he said, retreating back to his room. Once he was gone, Mrs. Rivers and I started talking again. After a while, though, I realized the time. I should get going now, I said, standing up. Thank you for inviting me in. It was nice meeting you.
It was lovely meeting you too, Maya, and do stop by again soon.
I nodded and headed toward the door. The next day at school, I was eating lunch, minding my business, when Sarah, the self-proclaimed leader of the class, walked towards me, her friends following behind, grinning like they knew something I didn't. Maya, Sarah began. Do you have a boyfriend? She asked, smirking. I blinked. What?
Come on. Don't tell me you've been single this whole time. Everyone's talking about it.
Her friends laughed, and I felt the heat rising to my face. They were waiting for me to say no, but I wasn't about to give them that satisfaction. Actually, I do, I said. Really? Sarah asked, raising an eyebrow.
What's his name?
Panic. My mind went blank. My heart pounded as I tried to think of any name. My eyes darted around until my brain landed on the one name that had been floating around my head since yesterday. Jordan, I said quickly. Jordan what? Sarah pressed, grinning like she had caught me in a lie. Rivers, I replied, without thinking. What have I done? I thought, heart racing. Sarah looked impressed but suspicious. Okay, Maya, she said slowly, her grin widening. Without another word, she walked away, her friends trailing behind her, still giggling. 3 days later, I was at my locker, arranging my books. When I turned slightly, I saw him, and there he was. Jordan Rivers. The same hoodie, the same hands in his pockets, except now he was walking down my school hallway. No. My heart stopped as I watched him head to the principal's office, teachers greeting him as they passed. I slammed my locker shut and ran straight to Layla, my best friend. Layla, I whispered urgently, you will not believe what just happened. Layla gave me a look. What? You remember how I told Sarah that my boyfriend's name is Jordan Rivers?
Yeah?
Layla replied, eyes narrowing. Well, guess he just transferred to our school, I said, practically vibrating with panic.
Don't tell
Yup,
me.
it's him, my new neighbor. Layla's eyes widened, and then she burst out laughing so loud. Oh, this is Rich. You gotta tell him, she said, wiping her eyes. Are you crazy? I hissed. Later that day, I spotted Jordan alone at the vending machine. Now's my chance. I took a deep breath, heart pounding, and marched up to him, whispering to myself, you can do this. You can do this. Hey, I said, startling him as he tapped the buttons on the machine. Hey, he said, side-eyeing me. Can I walk with you? I asked. Sure, he replied, grabbing his drink. As we walked, I noticed people staring at us. Whispers followed us like an echo. Why are they staring? Jordan asked, glancing around. I froze. I looked at him, cheeks burning. Okay, so, funny story? I kinda maybe told my classmates that you were my boyfriend. Jordan stopped walking.
You did what?
I know it sounds crazy, I said quickly, but I didn't think you'd actually go here. He stared at me for a long moment, his face unreadable. Then, slowly, a grin spread across his face. That's hilarious, he said, laughing. Wait, you're not mad? Nah, he said, his eyes glinting with mischief.
But if we're doing this, we gotta do it right. Are we holding hands and all that?
No, just like, act normal. Walk with me, sit with me, talk to me sometimes. He said, tapping his chin. On one condition. You help me with chemistry, he said. I squinted at him. That's it. Deal? He asked, holding out his hand. Deal, I said, shaking it. Our relationship became the talk of the school. We'd sit together at lunch, walk together in the halls, and occasionally argue over silly things. But Sarah wasn't having it. She started telling people they're faking it. No way they're actually together. They never even kiss. One day, she cornered Jordan at his locker. You deserve a real girlfriend, she said. Thanks, but I already have one, he said, walking away. But Sarah wasn't done. She started talking to him more, hanging around him, asking for help with homework. It didn't take long for me to notice. Then one day, I saw him sitting alone in class, and I couldn't take it anymore. I had to talk to him about Sarah. Why is she always near you? I asked angrily. Who? He asked. Sarah, of course. I replied, rolling my eyes. Don't worry about it, he said. I'm serious, Jordan, I said. Are you flirting with her? Why do you care? He shot back. Because I stopped myself, not knowing how to finish the sentence. Why do I care? See? He said, his voice rising. You're mad like we're actually together. But news flash, this is all pretend. It felt like a punch to the chest. Fine, I said, storming off. But unfortunately, we didn't know Sarah had been listening and recording. The next day, without hesitating, she told everyone about it, showing them the recording. Everyone was staring at me like I was a fraud. Sarah's plan had worked. That was, until Jordan stepped in front of the crowd. Yeah, it started fake, he said, looking right at me. But it's not anymore. The crowd gasped. Jordan looked into my eyes. I'm done pretending, Maya, he said, while the crowd watched. My heart stopped as he leaned in and kissed me. Right there. In front of everyone, the world fell away and it was just him. When he pulled back, I blinked up at him. What was that for? I whispered. I figured it's about time we acted like a real couple, he said, grinning. And for once, I didn't have to pretend. The end.